over a little bit of the single shot 12 gauge with you guys. I've heavily modified mine. On the outside, all that you see is the shot cuff that I have here. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing is I'm going to unload it with and this is a birdshot shell. So it's number 6 Dublo from Fiocchi. It's just something that I had lying around. Great thing about this is now if I see a bird on the wing, or if I need to take any male or fowl or anything like that, I've got a load to do that. Now, understand that I've set the shotgun up in such a way that, let's say I lost everything but this shotgun, and let's say my knife, okay? Now, a lot of you know that I'm a fan of having small survival kits on you at one time, in different things. One of those, last night I did a video on a neck knife and having a ferro rod on that. Okay, that's one survival kit that you have. Okay, it's because it's on your neck and because it's under your clothing and because it's so close to you. There should be no reason on this planet why you would lose that. Okay, so you will always have a cutting tool fire there. Okay, but, and you all have seen my knife in the past that was made by Bushcraft My Way, that has the kit of the sharpening stone and the ferro rod and the magnesium bar and a lighter and a bunch of cordage, right? Okay, so you guys have seen that too. Well, again, I'm using an implement to put a survival kit inside. Okay, I've done the same with this. The front sight, I'll let you get a better look at it. There. You see how the front sight is white? What I did is I painted that with glow-in-the-dark paint. I picked that up at, I think it was Menards. Anyway, you can pick up some glow-in-the-dark paint. It was a Rust-Oleum brand. It seems to work pretty well. You want to get 2 or 3 good, thick, heavy coats on it. But now, if you hit it with a flashlight or some type of a light, now you can charge that up, and now it'll start to illuminate if you need to take a shot at night. Granted, it's not, it's not a tritium sight by any stretch of the imagination. But on the other hand, it's commonly available, and it cost me $5 for an entire quart or pint of glow-in-the-dark paint. Okay, with that pint of paint, I can paint every sight that I have from now until eternity and never run out of it. So, you get what you pay for, and for $5, there you go. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing I want to hit on is the simplicity of the single shot 12 gauge. Dave Canberry has done that very well, so I'm not going to get on it too much, but just if you're going to have a survival gun, you want something that you know is not going to break. Single shot 12 gauge is that. Okay? Alright, so on my cuff, I have one 2 3/4 inch Winchester Super X slug. Okay? That'll take anything down from pretty much deer to bear. If it's anywhere in North America and it's coming at me, I'm going to kill it with this. Okay? If that's a bear, I want one shot kill with this thing. I'm going to have that with a bear. If I hit him in the head with a slug, he ain't going to survive. So, always, especially North America, always have a slug with you, or at least one. Always have at least one slug with you, because if you run across a bear or something, now they're not very common in Indiana, but we have seen them. So, always have a slug with you in the woods. So, we've got that. And then for close range, for pretty much anything larger than a bird but smaller than a deer, I've got a 9 pellet Remington Express double-aught buck cartridge. Okay, so now I've got basically the 3 main loads for a shotgun. The dove load's already loaded. The double-aught buck is in the cuff, and now I've got a slug. So now I've got options here. Okay. Now the last 3 options that I have in my slug, in my cuff here, is I have a chamber reducer for 22, okay, long rifle. I have a chamber reducer that will allow me to shoot my 45 ACP through, and I have a chamber reducer for a 9mm. Why is that important? Well, the 3 main calibers I'm going to be carrying, outside of 12 gauge, the only 3 calibers that I'm going to be carrying are 45 ACP, 9mm, and 22. Okay? So, if I have a chamber reducer for each of those cartridges, if something goes down, something goes wrong with that gun, now I have a way of shooting that round, and now I'm not just carrying rounds, just to be carrying rounds. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of important to have this type of functionality. Alright, so the next thing, might as well take this out. Next thing I'm going to get you into is I'm going to show you the real secret to this. And the real secret to this is that a wooden stock shotgun like this typically has a hole or a chamber burrowed in the stock that ends in a nut that attaches this stock to the receiver. Okay? And for those of you that did not know that. So, and these 2 screws in the back here are Phillips head. Okay? So, if I take one of these screws out, now I have access to this area that is this chamber. Now inside this chamber I have a chunk of that gel relax rope that we went over yesterday. Sometimes it doesn't want to work with you. There we go. I have a second slug, and I also have another one of those miniature ferro rods and a small case jackknife. Three-bay version. Okay? So, why do I have all these things here? Obviously, we've already went over the slug. Why would we? So now, instead of just having one, now I have 2. Okay? So, in the case that I use one of these slugs to take down a bear or whatever, now I'm not completely unarmed. Okay? Not saying that the birdshot wouldn't do something at close range, but if I'm in the woods, the chances of me shooting at a range of less than 10 feet, it's it's insane. Less than 10 feet, that's when I'm going to be using a knife or an axe or something else. I'm not going to be wanting necessarily to use my one shot at that close of a range. Okay? So, now I've got 4 rounds. Okay? With this small knife, if I do manage to see a deer, and let's say I manage to take it, or if I feel the need to take that deer, now I have a way of skinning him out. Now, is it going to be ideal? Absolutely not. On the other hand, will it work? Yeah. Can it be done? Yeah. Is it going to take forever? Yeah. Is it going to suck? Oh, yeah. But I'd much rather have that. At least have an option. Can I skin a rabbit with this? Easily. See what I'm saying? So, even if I lose everything and I'm down to my multi-tool, which I'm going to have strapped to me, now I have an extra blade option. Add to that, I can use this blade to strike sparks off this ferro rod. Now, again, it's not bushcraft correct to use the edge of your blade, but I've got 3 of them on this knife. So if I have to, and if for some reason I can't use the back and it's not working very well, or I'm shaking, or I'm in a high stress situation, I'm going to go ahead and scrape off the blade off of one of these blades. And it scrapes just fine. Okay? Alright, so now you've got fire, small knife, the gel wax that we went over with. I proved that you can start a fire with this pretty easy. And now you have all these implements. Something else I would like to let you guys know before I leave here is I have a piece of bicycle air tube to act as a washer, a rubber seal, to keep moisture out under, okay, under the butt plate. It's kind of important. So, there you have it. There is a historical significance to this, in that, if you remember, in the old days they had small cap boxes on the outside of their flintlock firearms, and outside of even like the Kentuckian rifle, or the Hawken rifle, or the Pennsylvanian rifle. I believe the Brown Bess even had one. It was just a simple little hole cut in the side of the stock, and then there was a brass cover plate, and then you take that cover plate and then you would have storage area in the stock. So really this idea is not really new, and I have hollowed this out some a little bit, but I could very easily hollow this out quite a bit more, but to hold even more. So, but this just gives you an idea of what can be done, and so yeah, just thought you guys might enjoy that. So, thanks. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your time. Defend your homes wisely.